Hey guys, Asher Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. We have another champion guide on the way for you guys today. It is a void rare named Cagebound. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. Keep the champion guide requests coming, guys, please, in the comments below. Our goal here isn't just to do all the good champions in the game, but rather every champion in the game. So, welcome to stage left, or enter stage left. It is Cagebound. Cagebound is not one of the best rares out there in the game, but the question is does he suck so bad that you can't get some utility out of this champion? Is he worth vaulting? Is he worth just crunching into food? Let's discuss all that and more in today's video. He is a lizard man, a void affinity, defense-based rare champion. So what is he? Well, his base stats is 14k HP, sucks. His 1255 on defense. His attack doesn't mean anything because he's a defense-based damage dealer. 1255 base defense is not bad for a rare. 95 is not bad for a rare, about average. On his A1, Twisted Spike attacks one enemy, plays a shield on this champion for 1 turn, equal to 10% of their max HP. So the shield is actually really nice, especially if you're lucky enough to have him awakened at all. More on that when we get to the build. On the A2, it's Sword Break Cage. It's a 3-turn cooldown when booked. It's an AoE 100% chance of placing the weak version of Decrease Attack. So now an AoE 3-turn decrease attack, weak version on the A2. On the A3, Bound to Serve is a 3-turn cooldown again. It's the weak version of Ally Protect, which is actually a good thing. And then a continuous heal on this champion for 1 turn. So he can heal himself and then shield himself on the A1 while soaking up the extra damage, 25% from all allies. So why is it a good thing that it's the weak version of the Ally Protect? Because this dude is way too squishy to handle the big version of Ally Protect. It would be one-shot city on Cagebound, probably some of the allies too, if he was carrying the big version with these base stats, right? Unless you had just god tier gear on him. Keep in mind, a big version of Ally Protect is great, but this is still a built-in strengthen on everybody. It's still a 25% damage mitigation, which is really powerful. And I love that he is healing himself and shielding himself and mitigating damage with the A2. So what is this guy all about? He's a rare that can mitigate damage from your team, right? He protects himself with the shield, with a continuous heal, mitigates damage with the ally protection, and with the decrease attack on a 3-turn cooldown. All right, let's talk about the build on this champion, because honestly, the build is where it's at, right? This is like really where you get the utility on this champion or where you don't get the utility on this champion. Specifically, when we talk about the blessing, you need to make a decision. If you have him awakened at all, right, you need to make a decision. If you have him like 5 or 6-star awakened, I might consider, just depending on how you're using him, I might consider going with the new blessing, which is Nature's Bounty. New-ish at the time of this recording. Whenever this champion applies a debuff, has a chance to bring it to the big version of that debuff instead. What's better than the AoE decrease attack? AoE decrease attack on the big version, the 50%, right? So we have a 45% chance of placing the greater version of the debuff. So now we have a 45% chance of placing a big version of decrease attack. It's at 100% land rate, and he's void affinity, which is a pretty dependable land rate on the decrease attack. We don't have to worry about weak affinity matchups, and it is a 3-turn cooldown. So it's not that crazy of a scenario to utilize him as, again, a damage mitigator with that AoE on the A2 plus the ally protection, but getting the big version of decrease attack. It will help keep Cagebound alive, but also all your allies as well. So I think that that's a great blessing. The only downside on this blessing is I am not a big fan of the land rate. 15 to 30 to 45. I almost wish it was 30 to 45 to 70 to 100 instead of scaling only to 60. I don't know. I've been pretty vocal about that in the past. I love the blessing. I just wish it was a little bit more powerful, really on all levels. That's kind of my opinion on that. So I want to go with emergency heal. That is my favorite blessing. That's what you can see as what I have selected here on my Cagebound. Heals his champion whenever a shield buff on them expires, removed, or is broken by an enemy attack. Well, he has that great shield on the A1 already, So now every time that shield expires, we get a nice 9% heal based on his max HP. So now we're getting the 9% heal after the shield. This is all just on the A1. We also have the continuous heal after that on the A3. I love emergency heal. I think it's one of the most powerful rare blessings in the game. I did not, actually I did take that back. I was gonna say, I don't think I got masteries on him. I did pick up masteries. I want to be clear. I don't think you need masteries on this champion. Do they make him better? Absolutely. You can go down, pick up a little bit of extra damage from this champion, and pick up War Master on the left-hand side. I think that's the best tier 6 option for this champion. Personally, you could go support tree. I went with the accuracy. I came down Master Hexer, obviously a chance to extend the duration of the debuffs that he's bringing. And then I went with Spirit Haste as well. Because I have him booked, there's no need for Sniper. He already has a 100% chance of landing his decrease attack, again, provided he is booked. You could absolutely go down and pick up Cycle of Magic instead of Lore of Steel, and then come down and pick up Lasting Gifts to extend the duration of the buffs, namely the continuous heal and the ally protection on the A3 ability. So there's different ways you could build him. You can see that I have a regeneration sets that I like on this guy. First off, bolster or shield, right? Get even more survivability, even more utility out of him by putting him in a shield set, right? It's based on his max HP, which we want to scale anyway for the shield on his A1 ability. So I went with regeneration and perception. I want even more heals on this dude, right? He's taking damage. He's an ally protector. If you have a Vizix or any ally protector, you know that damage adds up, right? If you're lucky enough to have a Krisk, ally protectors are a blessing and a curse. They mitigate a lot of damage, but they take a ton. So I like him in regeneration. Listen, if I didn't have him in regeneration, I would at least throw one immortal set on this champion to get a little bit of extra heals along with the emergency heal. The emergency heal plus the shield plus the regeneration or a bolster set, right, is a great combo. This guy is going to be able to stay alive really, really well. As a matter of fact, in this regen and emergency heal, he can solo Scarab King on Doom Tower hard. I probably won't show you the whole run, but I will end with you, or showing you him just kind of get in there and just stay alive, basically, right? You can kill him down with War Master, or just take you an hour and a half to do so. You could put in a Toxic set on him in the same utility if you wanted to. It would speed the run up, but hurt his survivability, of course. You could put him in a Guardian set if you wanted to help keep the rest of the team alive. So what do we have in terms of stats on him? We have defense on the ring. We have HP on the amulet. We have defense on the banner. We have speed on the boots. We have HP percentage on the chest. And we have HP percentage on the gauntlets. Notice how I switched up the HP percentage and the defense on some of the accessories as well. I don't want to totally neglect defense, especially since I have a little bit of crit rate, 65% built onto him right now. May as well get a little bit of damage. Speaking of damage, his multipliers on Cagebound, first of all, that rating, 2.5 out of 5. Sadly, I have to agree with it. I think that's a pretty accurate score for this progression champion. He has a Scarab King is a 3.5 because of the shield. Again, he can solo Scarab King, so he's not bad there. Other than that, though, you're really looking at a faction war. Maybe some areas of Centranos type champion, right? Or a progression. He gets pretty bad scores in Spider, Fire Knight, Dragon. But I would say in Ice Golem progression, he can be a very serviceable and viable champion to keep the rest of your team alive. Again, with the decreased attack, we've already talked about his kit. He has a 3.3 on his AoE. Not bad for a multiplier. It's defense-based. He has a 3.1. Again, not bad on the A1. It does overall get a weak damage grading, though. That's primarily because of his base defense so low, 1255, compared to normal epics and legendaries and mythical defense-based champions, right? What is a standard mythical base defense? Let's go to Allah's. Looking at 1476, so about the same as legendaries, right? Androx 1619. That's pretty dang high. Power creep is a thing in this game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go ahead, and I showed you the build. I show you where we could use him. I do have a Cursed City floor that I was using him on. What was it, 16, I want to say? 19, maybe? No. Was it 16? Was it 15? Nope. Was it 17? No, this is enthralling for you, I'm sure. 20. Stage 20. There we go. I saved myself from the edit. So I just threw him in this team. as you can see, this is stage 20, rares and epics only, obviously limited factions. He's going to go, we have no aura on this entire team, but look at my team. We're all so unbelievably squishy. So we could really benefit from somebody to try to keep this team alive. Enter in Cagebound. And this is like the perfect utility for this champion. Listen, the first wave goes down fast, but not the second or the third. You know, having somebody, this team would die if not for Cagebound or somebody else, right? Going in there, you can see the ally protect on everybody. Everybody on this team is super, super squishy. A couple hits and they're dead. So it's really nice to have somebody in there soaking up the damage, and then again on the AoE with the decreased defense on the A2 ability. Unfortunately, we go in with the A1, so we do have the shield at least to help keep him alive with the ally protection. Kurzad barely stays alive on the left-hand side. As I said, after this, guys, I will show you a quick... ooh, that was a nice Heartless Blitz to lead things off. Here we go. That's the A2, the decreased attack. I don't know. Maybe Nature's Bounty is the better blessing. It just depends, right? You're going to see when we go to Scarab King right now that we're definitely going to love the emergency heal. For Ice Golem or Scarab King, where you really need a lot of survivability, I would probably go, when he's going to be taking a lot of damage, I'd probably go emergency heal in those situations, especially in the regen set. Outside of that, though, I might consider getting the big version of AoE on the decreased attack with Nature's Bounty. You can see this, he's never going to jump up the page at you, but the damage isn't awful on him. Again, a 3.3 multiplier on a 1250 or so base defense. It's not bad. He's not a damage dealer, but he can add a little bit of damage if you want to stack on a little bit of crit rate like I did, you know, not as a main stat, but as like substats, plus War Master on top of that as well. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and just go to Doom Tower, Scarab King. I'm going to go to stage 50 on Doom Tower hard, get that team out of there. Let's just put him in. I don't know. I think I actually took all Euros's gear off. Let's just throw in a random team. I'll come back to you when we get to the Scarab King. We're not going to watch it till the end anyway, and Euros is going to die because he's naked. So I'll be right back. So guys, I've been running him for around 8-9 minutes now on Scarab King, and you can see he gets the job done. It just takes him a while. He's not going to go anywhere thanks to that emergency heal. As we've already mentioned, emergency heal is just absolutely amazing with this dude's A1 ability. So is he a world beater? Is he a rare that you're going to remember for the rest of your life in Raid Shadow Legends, that you're going to ride hard in the early, in the mid, and the end game? Probably not. Is he a completely worthless champion that requires none of your time, none of your attention in every area of the game? No, I think you can get some utility, as I've shown you here, from this champion, a variety of different areas, mainly in progression, though. He's not a great rare, but he's not the worst rare in the world. I'd advise you guys, do not use Masteries on this champion unless you really need them, kind of like I'm doing here. He can serve some survivability and progression utility for your account, and maybe even some endgame assistance in Cintranos. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.